All right, back in Studio A. I'm enjoying going over these old films. They may not be super good for building a channel or anything like that, but I just like archiving the this history of film, and hopefully this will benefit somebody who just. There's a lot of movies where I've gone to see reviews, and there just aren't many reviews because they're older movies or whatever, and so um, at least somebody's put a review out of those films. I had, but there's, you may have experienced this yourself, where you have, especially if you're my age, where you experience, like you have a time in your life, goes on for a period of time, and you just kind of forget about it. And then you recall it for one reason or another. Sorry about all the shaking a little more than normal. You just kind of forget about that time period. And back from about 1994 to 1997, I was living with my grandmother. But that's not the part I forgot. What I forgot is a friend that I had made friends with this guy in 1993. Well, really before then, but we became better friends in 1993. And he moved down the street, walking distance. And I would get off work, come home, and I was basically second shift. I'd get home about, I don't know, about 11 o'clock. So he had me over 3 days a week for movies. And we had documentary Wednesdays. And then I think it was like Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday were when we watched movies. And this went on for a few years. And he just showed me really weird movies. They were really weird. And it was fun. They were great. We watched movies together for years beyond that. We would just get together and watch movies. And he really had great taste in film. I just loved his movies. The only thing is, there was only one movie of all the movies we watched. There was only one that I couldn't finish. I had to tell him, I said, man, I just can't watch this movie anymore. It's like, and that was Terry Gilliam's Brazil. Now, many years later, I decided, okay, I'm going to watch this again. I think it had kind of a creepy vibe, comedic creepy vibe, rare, very strange movie. I like strange movies. So I was like, okay, let's give this another shot. I couldn't finish it. Life of Brian. I was hanging on to finish that movie. And I have found that I think just the Terry Gilliam's style doesn't work for me. It's just kind of, it's like with authors, it's the same thing. A book can be, one author can just speak to you and another just can't do it. Um, Terry Gilliam's like that for me. I find his movies to be excruciatingly boring. I can't do it. I did finish Time Bandits. I finished it, but it was a challenge. And it's tough because I can't sit here and tell you shouldn't watch it. I don't know. I think this is an exception. I'm giving it 2 stars, uh, kind of a benefit of the doubt kind of thing, because I can see someone really loving this movie. And the reason why is because it fits. It's a rare fantasy film from this era that uses practical effects, and the practical effects are still excellent. They held up great, really good, still very good to watch in many ways. Um, Now, what reminded me, part of this retrospective is Under the Rainbow, which I'll probably be the next retrospective review I'll do. Unless I get to I'm going back over my older ones. This is 1981, currently in 1984. But so unless I get to that next 84 movie, but I'll say, as for this, I forgot about something about this era, and I'm going to try to future proof this. I don't want I don't know whether I should say midgets or little people or whatever, just for the for public consumption. But whatever the case, this era was obsessed with this people group, obsessed. Return of the Jedi, right? Willow, all throughout the 80s. Just, and I'd forgotten about that. And when I saw this, I was like, oh man, it was the first thing I noticed. I was like, I forgot that the 80s just, they don't cast like Lawrence, what's this? Is it Lawrence Davis? Is that his name? The guy who played Wicket, um, and played Willow. It, they don't just cast like one person. I mean, they just tons of them, you know. Every movie, it's crazy. It's like, why do they feel like there has to be a mob? Why can't, you know? It's just always found that kind of humorous and just kind of strange. Strange obsession at that time. Maybe there was some coup in casting or something that I'm not aware of. But that trope is here. And again, if you like fantasy films, if you like maybe Lord of the Rings, or if you're into like Acquisitions Incorporated, the live streamed RPG, um, you'll really probably like this. Acquisitions Incorporated is a little bit silly, but fantasy, and that's what this is. I think it's a pretty good comparison. I think Time Bandits is kind of silly, but man, it doesn't do it for me at all. And I also felt that it was kind of pointless. I think the whole idea of the film is to take you into these time periods, but then there's these things with Satan and just with David Warner, who's a great actor, but it's just so like, why are we what? There were some interesting theological points made, but regardless, I have to say, if you're like me and you like thought provoking film, David Gilliam is doing that with his movies, but unfortunately, he just doesn't do it in a way that really speaks to me. So I have to give it 2 stars. For me personally, I would give it one. But like I said, I think he just doesn't mesh with me. All right.